such an asshole.
All right, we got kind of a curveball, convoluted one that I'm not sure how to answer because his situation is unique. I know what I'm going to recommend general policy wise, but as for this guy's individual situation, which I am going to have to anonymize because he's a very unique individual, I'll have to kind of read through it and go through some of the details. Dear Aaron, I hope this message finds you well. I'm reaching out as a big fan of yours. I wanted to share some thoughts and experiences relating to current trends in the job market, particularly around issues of discrimination, to get your reaction. I'd like you to do a video response on this. You can use my locations and all the details. And yeah, I know you guys say that, but I would feel horrible because you do have a very interesting skill set, and I would hate for you to be identified and then never be able to make that kind of money or work in that field again. So I'll I'll change some things. Your location, leave out the name. Feel free to, frankly, I prefer you did use the names of companies listed below. If I listed them, okay, look, this isn't going to surprise anyone. Large American corporations there. I know you may have a particular hatred for the industry or those specific employees in that industry that you're talking about, but literally any of the Fortune 500 companies, they're guilty of this. And trust you me, I would love to mention these companies' names, but again, you see, I don't know if you realize how high you are, where they'd be like, hey, that's that guy. There's only 5 of you, I got to imagine, that do what you do. You know, I can't say, oh, you can tell all the information in here. I'm a podcaster who wears a Santa hat, and I have a Northern Command and Southern Command, but you know, no one will figure that out. A bit about me. I am a certain age. He's not old. He's not young. Living in large leftist shithole. And I'm planning to move to other large leftist shithole in about a year to pursue law school. Interestingly, my pursuit of law school isn't to practice, but rather out of the love of the subject and to build a more complete skill set, as I intend to ultimately get an LLM in tax law. I have an undergraduate degree in Thing. Oh, what did he major in? He majored in Thing. Oh, dude, he's going to be totally employed. They opened up that Thing factory down there. Good thing he majored in Thing. Professionally, I run a consulting, a very skilled STEM field consulting business with a focus on you advise companies. Before the pandemic, I was thriving, generating around $70,000 a month in profit. However, the pandemic threw us off course, and we've been facing a start and stop market ever since. I burned through a lot of savings during the pandemic when income went to zero, but I'm still fine financially. My career began in the same industry that I'm in now, in leftist shithole, as a 1099 consultant. You started as you didn't suffer the W-2. You didn't go through the trenches. You just waltzed right into the 1099 superior race. There was no wandering in the desert, no losing half your population. You just college 1099er, huh? Some guys get all the luck, I guess. Focusing on a specialty. I was quite successful in this field, earning up to $50,000 a month at my peak. After some legislation was fully implemented, I sensed it was time to venture out on my own, which led me to start my own business. Recently, given the inconsistencies in my business, I've been considering a return to the original field. However, the job search has been unexpectedly challenging, despite my extensive experience with the top firms within this field. I faced rejections for supposedly not having enough of that type of experience, despite the fact that a 10-second glance at my resume will reveal that I only have that type of experience. It's becoming apparent to me that these rejections are formulaic and might be less about my qualifications and more about being screened out for being a white man. I'm not demanding outrageous compensation and consenting to what they are offering as a precondition of being submitted for these roles. So compensation is not the issue. I'm also not super old, so I don't think it's age discrimination either. My suspicion has been confirmed by the recruiters who submitted me for these roles. The irony, okay, so you have proof it is discrimination. Which, well, okay, I'm not questioning your assessment or what your recruiters have told you. If they told you that, they told you that. And it's obvious you can legally discriminate against men. You can especially discriminate against white men. That's legal. I think that may be coming to an end. Maybe in my lifetime, maybe not, but it's not sustainable. People in a position. The other thing is the industry you're in may be facing an actual general, I wouldn't even call it economic slowdown, but an industry-wide slowdown for reasons that your degree should probably be able to surmise why. So I think it's a little bit of both. But yeah, no, it's a fact. You can discriminate against white males all day long. The irony is, just as I paused my job search, my business started picking up again. But I wanted to share this with you and your viewers because I believe it's important to acknowledge the reality of discrimination in the job market. I also really feel for people who are in a similar position, but who don't have what I have to fall back on. Well, and this is why I'm always, look, forget discrimination or anything. It was already hard to make it in the real world back in the day. Right? Corporate America was corrupt, blah, blah, blah. We can go through that all again. And I think for whatever reason, whether it's discrimination, toxic corporate culture, inept boomer management, corruption at the state government level or federal government level, whatever, I think it's been ascertained long ago that nobody should be working long term. Like the idea of I'm going to become a corporate bigwig. Dude, fucking let the Sheryl Sandbergs have that. Fucking let Bill Gates work the 100-hour work week. I think people are even falling out of favor of like what was really sexy and glamorous. Oh, Wall Street. Every guy my age wanted to work at Wall Street. I think they're having trouble finding people now. And I think it's just a general rebuke of lying flat or quietly quitting, epitomized by Josh Fluke's channel, where it's like, get the fuck out. Everything you offered on the table is not acceptable. Then for males, white males, straight white males, whatever. Yeah, then there's the added hurdle. But philosophically, that's why I'm like, you should be going in as you did, the 1099 superior race. And it is only a temporary stopgap measure. Now, I also think that and it's interesting that it's in your field that you were rejected all the time because you do have an impeccable resume. But for most people out there who aren't in your situation, I think the competency crisis, the utter lack of a work ethic of younger people, absolutely no hustle, people not showing up on time, emotionally unstable adults. I think whatever hurdles may be presented in the employment world of America is somewhat ameliorated by the previous generation just cancel, quiet quitting, not showing up. Where now it's like, okay, all you have to do is show up on time and do your job right. Now, maybe not at your level. Your level is very prestigious and it's a little bit of a different ball of wax. But for general, I don't want to discourage anyone, let alone white males, from applying for jobs today when it's not been this easy. I know you think, well, it's not worth it, not paying. Like, yeah, you don't get it. You weren't there in the 90s where you walk into the court. You guys don't know this because you don't go downtown anymore. But back in the day, you had to go downtown where not only where all the action is, but that's where all the jobs were, especially white collar work, office work. That's where their headquarters were, the division. So you go downtown. Now, I don't know if you've gone downtown recently. A lot of people are working remote. They've moved a lot of downtown offices out into the suburbs. But when you would walk in, you would think because of the architecture and the beautiful architecture on the outside. So on the inside, it'd be this nice atrium with chandeliers and all. All it was baby boomer dicks that you were supposed to suck and kiss every single one as you went into the interview. And then there'd be this big old vagina in the form of a fat HR lady that you have to go and bow down and worship and light an incense candle and answer her fucking ridiculous questions. But after you went through that and you had to go through 5 interviews, panel interviews for an entry-level job to pay $12 an hour. Now they're just like, we need some people. And to kind of show that this desperation is not just rank and file. God, we need a bartender, wait staff, but even the big four, which is a equally pretentious asshole group and organization. They're not like, well, okay, we'll take non-accounting majors or we'll start training high schoolers. I've never seen it this good. It's like Sundown in Top Gun. What do you mean it doesn't look good? Doesn't get to look any better than that. I will fire when I am goddamn good and ready. I'm like, dude, quit being a maverick pussy and fucking fire. So for those of you just doing it right, you're going to have to go and eat some humble pie, work in the industry and the business. But yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, if there's a very prestigious position open, like let's say you're in a town and there's one major employer in that town and they got a really coveted, I don't know, HR or senior analyst, some that'd be a really good job for college graduates. It's going to go to the top tier. It would normally go to someone graduated, undergraduate. Now, nope, it's going to someone not white or certainly someone not male. And yeah, and is it fair? No, it's actually evil and it's bigoted. It's racist and sexist and straightophobic. What the hell is straight? Heterophobic. Well, too bad. It doesn't change. You got to go somewhere. And ultimate point I'm trying to make, you don't want to work. You wouldn't want to work for these corporations. You definitely don't want to be a W-2 employee. So thankfully for you, your business has picked back up and thank God. But I was like, boy, you must have a real intellectual interest in working for those firms in that field if you're willing to sell for W-2 income. And you are. We kind of went back and forth a little bit about why are you going from one leftist shithole to the other? Like, for these reasons. I'm like, okay, I get it. But generally speaking, yeah, you will face discrimination if you are a white male. You are. All right. Do you have the 50 years to bitch and whine about it like everybody else did to pull the teeth of people? Or do you just say, oh, fuck corporate? I mean, absolutely not. Like, yeah, you go. Could you imagine working for Disney right now? Could you imagine that shit? That was a prestigious employer. That would anyone, especially entertainment, would want to work there. Oh, God Christ, no. And I think that's getting out there now as we start to see essentially a not meritocratic, not fair, politically, mentally ill, toxic work environment in most large corporations. So people are, and they are, men are like, nah, I'm gonna chill out. I'm gonna become a tradesman. I'm gonna go quiet quit. And it's the right decision. It's the right decision. But I'm still saying men should go and apply where they can, and then get to the point of 1099 employment like you did. But I wanted to share this with you and your viewers because I believe it's important to acknowledge the reality of discrimination in the job market. I also really feel for people who are in a similar position, but who do not have what I have to fall back on. A couple of points for context. I'm aware that both leftist shitholes are liberal hellholes, but as a gay man, I prefer to live in areas with a dense population of other gay men in order to, well, be able to fuck. My buddy, same thing with Khan. Like he had, yeah, I mean, you're not going to find it in Mankato, Minnesota. I mean, there might be a small gay community there, but yeah, you gotta, no, I understand. I'm curious about your perspective on how this situation might evolve long-term and what actions white men in particular could take in response to such challenges in the job market. Any insights or advice you can offer would be greatly appreciated. Thanks for taking the time to read my letter. Looking forward to any thought. Yeah, kind of like what I said before. Look, even removing discrimination from it, corporations are not healthy for you. Modern American employers are not healthy for you. I don't know how you can do it except be a 1099er or maybe a tradesman. A tradesman would be another thing. So it's really like they're not letting white men on the Titanic. And I'm trying to point out, like, look, we know this is going to sink and it's not going to be worth. And by the way, this is going to be the fun Titanic where there's cocktails and ballroom dancing, like what's his name, Leonardo DiCaprio and the gal, and then it hits the iceberg. This is it's Arkham Asylum. That's what it is. That's all corporate America has ever been. Now it's just got extra black vagina with craziness and bow down and worship. And okay, fine. But I'm just saying, don't get on that boat. That boat is one, you're not going to enjoy your trip. until you get hit by the iceberg, and that's going to sink anyway. And if you guys haven't read it, go read my article. We should let women have corporate America. Go ahead, you guys, girl boss it up. You girls have fun with that. As always, I recommend then becoming part of the 1099 superior race. Using large corporate America, cut your teeth there. There's nothing wrong working for Google. At the beginning, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong working for the Big Four. Matter of fact, Chad Elkins recommends it. There's nothing wrong working for Disney, but you absolutely cannot hang your hat there. That is not where you will become or where you will form your career and your profession. It should be get in there, get some experience, make some contacts, and then go become self-employed or become a consultant or a 1099 contractor. Not everyone can do that, I understand, in which case I'd recommend that men, women too, I mean, if you want it, but all men, because it's in your best interest, go become tradesmen. That's where, and become sober tradesmen. I would also recommend Dumbass Contractor, Scott Wilson. Look him up on YouTube. He is basically the asshole consulting of trades professions. If you want to learn how to go become a tradesman and make a lot of money, go tune into Scott. He'll tell you how to do it. But there, again, you're still, if you want to make real money, you got to become 1099. You got to become self-employed. Because otherwise you're working in, plumbers only pay $17 an hour. I'm like, that's because you're a bunch of fucking dumbasses with your GED who can't not get a girl pregnant every Tuesday in the trailer park and show up sober and do your job on time. That's why you make $17 an hour. If you get licensed or become a master, and you're gonna have to put in your dues, but then you learn a little bit of accounting and run a shop or a plumbing company or electrical company or whatever, then you start making good money. And by the way, I don't know if Scott has a different opinion of this. You don't want to go into new construction, residential. You're dealing with contractors who all have their heads up their ass, general contractors who don't know shit and are unprofessional. You want to go into repair. I got a buddy who works concrete. He's like, yeah, I don't do new. I always do repair. Because it's just one job. You're not waiting for the framers to do their job or the roofers to do their job. Somebody screwed it up. We got to all undo it. And it's a fixed budget. You want to be the guy who comes in and fixes it up and does it right. So there's the trades. Again, I always recommend the military just to get the free GI Bill. But it's not fair there. It's not fair anywhere. Go look at the Navy chief. The guy who wears a dress, I mean, literally, a guy who wears a dress. Yeah, I'm aware, but you get the GI Bill, right? And then it also requires look, society doesn't want to give you a fair shot. That's the rule society is putting down now. So you could fight it all you want. You're not going to win. It has the force of law behind it, and the rest of society likes it that way. Good, get back at those white guys. They been like this kid was born 20 years ago. What? But adapt to the new reality. You do it because let's look at some of the decisions. You want to go to a large leftist crap hole, which most people wouldn't. But why do you go there? Because you're gay. You want to participate in the gay community and have sex. All right. So finances and career isn't even your primary motivation. I think you'll live a happier life because of it. Work also sucks. It's not even that hard of a sell to say, guys, the number one thing about your life, the thing that's going to bring you purpose, meaning and joy, isn't going to be your MBA and you making, senior vice president. I'd go enjoy the decline, man. Make your money, see if you can get remote employed, and then go fishing. All right. Your version is having a lot of gay sex. Okay. That's your go do it, man. God bless America. Other guys' versions is go fishing. My version is go hiking, motorcycle riding. Because I tried, and it's kind of the same thing. I tried my ass off to become somewhat, I guess by some measures, I was successful in finance. Nope. It was all the wrong move. And I was persistent. I put a lot of effort into it. I'm like, this better work. I got to. No, society didn't want anyone who was an empiricist in there. what it did do is inevitably, once I realized reality was not going to bend to my will, I had to bend to reality as well. Man, I am so much happier. I am so much happier. And this is where minimalism will come in. Guys, you don't need that much money. How many men are getting married? How many men are going to have kids? Not that many. All right. So already you don't need that much money anymore. And if corporate America or the labor market in general is not going to work for anyone, but particularly men or white men, okay, fine. Then you don't work for it. Normally, men would have been industrialists and professionals and experts in the field by the time they were 50. Oh, that's not happening? Okay, well, you're not getting 35 years of my labor and I get a gold watch. I'm going to be a 1099er. I'm going to get by. I'm going to do van life. In other words, okay, we're not going to allow you to work to your best capacities. I'm like, all right, fine. I'm going to go have some fun. And by God, if all you ladies, all you girls, and all the minorities, and you, those of you who are for affirmative action, time to get payback. Yeah. You go get your MBA and work a lot more. Make sure to pay your taxes. I need my Social Security check. Let them do the work. But it'd be the same advice I give everyone on my channel, not just white males, but corporate America is not fit for human consumption. It just isn't. And life is not meant to work. And if they're going to make it this hard to work, and they're going to tax you more too, fine, go. There's Cynic in Chief. He does van life. All he does is drive around and go to different theme parks and ride roller coasters. You like Dick. He likes roller coasters. I like hiking. It's a great... You go, girl, but you slay, queen. Oh, did you get your master's in diversity and inclusion? Oh, good. Go tell the rest of the sheep how much they suck. All right, have fun. Oh, you still pissed all the money away on boots and shoes and handbags, and you have no money to show for it despite making $250,000 a year? All right, have fun with that. Oh, I just went fishing. Thanks for paying into the Social Security. I'm glad that 15% went to my Social Security fund. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, they want us to play baseball, but the umpire is bought off. He's bought and paid. And the playing, and they're corking their bats, but we don't get corked bats. I'm like, okay, I guess you don't play. I guess you find something else to do in life. Challenges in the job. Any insights, advice, greatly appreciated. Curious about your perspective on how the situation might evolve long term. I think what will happen is what you see happening now is you have corporations, and it's not because of necessarily diversity hires. It's that they put politics over profits is what they really did. Diversity or not, any leftist politics. You're seeing these corporations being infected with a managerial philosophy that politics come before profits. And it is undermining the financial stability of some of these firms. You also see where, in the case of Disney, putting politics ahead of profits lowers the stock price to the point that, okay, we'll play patty cake and ESG and ooh touchy feely, but if there's blood in the water, you're going to have hostile takeovers by more business-minded men and women, investors. Say, geez, the price of Disney is down by half. All we got to do is get that guy who owns 100 million shares, that guy who's got 3 billion of shares, and that guy, and we could buy him up pretty cheap. And now we're taking over this company and firing everyone. So either it gets taken over as their prices go down, their assets go down, the brand goes. I mean, what's Target at? As these corporations perform more poorly and their asset prices go down, or their stock price, they become, well, one, they're not long-term places for employment because they're going to be laying people off. It's really a question of whether they're going to give up their politics. So they're going to decay or stagnate at best. The stock prices will go down, and now they are either a place that no one really wants to work for because they don't have the money to pay bonuses or raises, or they become a target for a hostile thing. Like, look at Twitter. Elon went in there, wiped out half the employees because they were worthless. So a venture capital guy comes in, or just an investor consortium comes in, takes it over, and says, "No, we're running it for profit. And no, we don't have lick the vagina day anymore. Nope, that's we'll have some training. Like, yeah, don't be a racist dickhead. Like maybe an ethics course, but we're not. Oh my God, is it June? Time to get the pride flag up, or is it June? Yeah, I think it's June. Yeah, like Target. So my point is, you start to see these ships taking on water already, and they weren't that fun of a ship to be on in the first place. And as I've said and speculated before, where I think the money to be made would be as a contractor, where I've used Disney as an example, or not Disney, Target. Target is all Target is that circle with the dot, is the target. That's it. Maybe the dog. But Target doesn't produce anything. All its stuff is made in China. There's some stock boys, and there's some cashiers, and there's some managerial people. And while they're playing, let's all suck the diversity dick and not run let's have gender bender swimwear for kids or something. Like, they're doing that wicked dumbass shit. Oh shit, what was I going to go with that? Somebody has to do the real job. Like, for Target to work, for it still to be a functional retailer, somebody has to do the job. And I think what's going to happen in the future is consultants such as you, specialists such as Chad, accountants, supply chain analysts, experts, consultants. I think the real money and the real work is going to go to the 1099ers. It's not going to be consistent. They're going to be really reluctant to do it. They're going to try and put their corporate culture on you. But I can totally see the day comes. Target hires a bunch of unqualified people because of the color of their skin or the plumbing down below, and not their content of character. Their supply chain thing goes to shit. This always happens in like, did you see how the Soviets tried to take over farming? See how the Zimbabweans did that too? Come on, make a crop. They're gonna be like, oh shit, the factory don't work no more. We're not getting our deliveries in on time. We need a consultant. And then in comes Mr. Consultant Man, white guy or not, won't matter. If you're part of my team, you'd be like, I have the credentials. Oh, you have supply chain problems. Well, I bill out at $300 an hour with a $20,000 unrefundable retainer. So if you're willing to, and then they'll say, don't worry, we got it. He'll go up to the other boss. I got it taken care of. We have a supply chain management expert coming in to help us at Target. Oh, cool. All right, now we can get back to having diversity meetings. Get everyone in supply chain. Get all the managers from supply chain. Let the consultant. We got to talk more about the color of your penis. It's a new book written by a professor who's never actually worked an honest day in her life, but she's a woman, or she claims to be, and she wrote The Color of Your Penis. And we really have to, we all have to, but let him handle it. And they'll say, oh, but the contractor, doesn't he have to come in and get diversity inclusion training? And they'll come and say, oh, in order for you to get this contract, you have to have diversity. And then you say, no. Like, I don't do that. No, a matter of fact, I'm probably not even going to go to your offices. I'll be working from home. Well, we're not going to do it. Oh, okay, fine. And then they're going to have to find somebody else. But now, if we all hold the united fronts, if all of us 1099ers got together, it's like, nope, hold the line. $300 minimum, $20,000 non-refundable retainer. And we don't do any diversity inclusion training. And we come and go as we please. Like, we are the hired gun. We are equals. We are Clint Eastwood in a fistful of dollars. You are the Rojas. You need us. You are the Baxters. You need us. We will not be going down and kissing the diversity ring. That, I think, is the best way to do it. But to get to that point, you got to suffer a little bit in corporate America. Scroll up. I did have some questions, so I said, have you tried listing somehow that you're gay? Oh, this leads to my other strategy, like listing a gay club or community organization you belong to, or do you think it's strictly race that they're basing their hiring on? Aside from the money, is there any reason? Why is there any reason you would go back? I mean, the industry sucks. But you have a niche. Uh, video reply. So that viewers of your channel who might be feeling the same thing I am feeling know that it's not their imagination. Regarding your other questions, I actually did list I was a board member at a gay program committee system thing. That's of course BS, but there's no way for them to check. I sense it helped as much as it hurt. That's often what these crazy leftist cat ladies don't realize. All the sound and fury, and it ends up being a wash because they are repulsing as many or more people than they are aligning themselves with. I think the main problem is they don't seem appear present as gay. I look like a normal white guy. Well, yeah, they don't want you. Look, nobody wants the loud flamboyant "hello everybody" with the freaking boa and RuPaul. I mean, there's a call and a reason for that. There's a time and a place. Actually, I think he's performing in Vegas now that I think about it. But a corporate office is not it. I think the late comedian Patrice O'Neill said the white skin to black people is like a Hitler mustache to Jewish people. Perhaps he's right, but this isn't going to end well if white people aren't deemed employable. We're still a majority in the country. The irony is we all know it's silly. Halo top basic white chicks? What's Halo top? In HR who are doing this nonsense. I'm more upset with them than I am black. No. Look, black people didn't really have anything to do. I think they whine and complain, and Democrats get in. But yeah, it's the liberal white woman. There, and then don't just look. A lot of sisters in there too, given their diversity and inclusion. Get the fuck out of here! Wow, I mean, you're already an affirmative action hire, but an entire industry from bullshit had to be created for you. I'm just saying avoid this. It's like college. Avoid it altogether. Why would you go to college? Unless you like we're going to engineering or something like that. Why would you go to college in the United States? There's no reason to. As for why going back to the field, another reason I stayed in the leftist crap holes is because I always saw the industry I'm in as a backup. Yeah, you got a real interesting background, man. Real interesting background. And here's the other thing, the final strategy that I would do is, and this is not my doing. This is Turd Flinging Monkey, and at first it was tongue in cheek, but now it's deadly serious. If you're in a state where you could change your gender on your driver's license, do it. Change your gender and change your name. Get a feminine name. Put the F on the driver's license. You know, if your name is Fred, you go by Frederica, whatever. When you fill out applications, you're female. Because they think out of all the diversity or affirmative action group that they're hiring, female is if you are going to hire someone and you got a female versus say a Latino, I think they're going to go with the female because we just got to get more women into leadership. Got no eggs. No more eggs. They all dried up, baby. No more eggs. I put female. And the reason is simply this. There is no more honor at all. It's all gone. They are bigoted. They are discriminating. And if they're going to do this stupid fucking bullshit where gender or sexuality is fluid and you can change. Look, who's the guy in the Navy? That idiot. They let the head of the Navy is a man wearing a dress. So it's official. You could be male and, you know, check the F box and say you're female. And just, you go in and, you know, they like, it says Frederica, like, yeah, I'm a woman, but, you know, and TFM was right. You're not going in there dressed like the freaking moron that's in charge of our Navy right now. You're not a dude wearing a dress. You go in dressed like a dude normally. Maybe wear your hair, like grow your hair out long. I think that would be believable. Where they say, but it's like, I'm presenting as male in my career, in my profession. I don't want to cause any trouble, but I am female. Don't say I identify as female. I am female. I'm a female presenting. I'm a male presenting female, but then I go at night and I keep my private life separate from my work life. And I don't want to cause any trouble, but I am female. And and I think that's the silver bullet. I think that's it right there. And then you could here's my license, and it says CDF. And because they're such intellectually dishonest, hypocritical assholes, they have to go along with it. They do. Yeah, I mean, there was the Grace Hopper recruitment event where it was only for females, and then a bunch of guys went in and identified as females, and then they bitched and whined. Nope, fuck you. That's discrimination. Matter of fact, some men should actually go and sue the people who are filing complaints. But I think that is what you men should do is, and I'm, by the way, not just white men, all men. There are no men anymore. All you guys, you go down to the DMV if your state allows it. You go get, I think maybe you can even change it on a federal ID, like your passport. Don't quote me on that. But get it officially like, no, I'm a woman. Here's my ID. And not only will they say, okay, look, this is a normal, and the reason for the long hair is like, I go out and I present as a woman in public in my social time, but work, I just want to avoid drama, but I need a job, Then you have the long hair, like, oh, he dresses up his hair. And you know what? Here's what I would do. Go set up some social media accounts. Like, go doll yourself up like a woman, right? Get the pictures, glamour shots, whatever. Put it on an Instagram. Don't tell your family. And, maybe pose at the gay club. Find RuPaul. Hey, stand here. It's for a job. And then, some veracity, because HR women going to snoop. But yeah, I think that would be and then they're like, oh my God, a normal one who doesn't have pink hair and is going to sue us. And I don't be surprised. Like, we'd like, you're brave and amazing. Yeah, I sure am. Yeah, you got it. Forget why I'm a good accountant, right? Fuck that shit. I identify as a woman, and that's more important than me balancing your books right now, because fuck abilities. It's all about how we were born, because that's ultimate bigotry and discrimination. They might want you to sit on some fucking committee. I almost wouldn't do it, because you might actually run into someone who's actually trans, or actually you just like, no. I really just want to keep working in that separate. But they'll be like, oh my God. And then they can check their little fucking box and get their ESG score. Yeah. After you walk out of the door, all the HR women are going to say, oh, Gertrude, Bethel, Beatrice, come in. Oh my God. And they'll have this big masturbation circle and sacrifice a goat, because they're all a bunch of witches. And they'll, dear Baal, may she become the best person we've ever. Kill the goat. It got really dark really quick. Yep. Oh, well. There's some HR women doing it. No, that's really hot. I like it. Yeah, I think I know what I'm going to do this week with the girls in HR. Don't know why we didn't think of it sooner. Why are corporate profits tanking? We sacrificed a ton of goats. Goat slaying would be the specialty within HR. You get general HR, but then you could minor in goat slaying and witchcraft. But on a more serious note, yes, it's a very minor thing you can do. Identify as a woman, or ladies, I guess, if you want an edge over your female competitors, you could identify as a man. I don't know if you want to go through the hassle, but do it. If they're going to play these stupid fucking games, fuck them right up the ass. I mean, they are being discriminatory. They're being evil. All right, fuck it. You want to be evil? Let's be evil. So there you go. All right, let's go to the super chats and have ourselves a treat. Dirty Bird 07. Or is that cute? No, 07. $5. I think that the white man would probably be a lot safer if he changed his skin color to black. Plus, he wouldn't have to worry about the race card. There's there's ways you can tan yourself. Get like Rachel Dolezal, look her up. I think she took like tanning pills. There's certain things you could take to darken your skin. the cover, if you didn't know, that's Eddie Murphy where he dressed as a white guy for Saturday Night Live. Was one of the funnier skits. I don't know what the long-term effects are of that. Whereas just changing a letter on your driver's license, that doesn't change anything. But you could you could doctor a 23andMe on part American Indian. I mean, how are they gonna prove it? It's I guess go do the 23andMe and find out. Oh, hey, I'm 1/5. Look, if that bitch Elizabeth Warren can lie, what was she 1/2048th American Indian? If that bitch can lie, fuck you. You can lie too. Oh yeah, I'm part Hispanic, sure. As far as you know. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I get answer that? Skin. Plus, you won't have to worry about the rate. But yeah, if you're white, you need black skin. I mean, you can't. I identify as black. No, it doesn't work. For some reason, your gender is fluid, but your race ain't. Booty scratcher, 7 Canadian. The big 4 is meant for accelerating career, but do not stay. Make manager and go private. Yep. That's what Elkins talks about. Heinrich Dorfman, $2. Guys, just accept that we live in the Rhineland now. Yeah, we do. And I'm going to play by the rules. Are these the new rules? Oh, okay. Dude, you know what's really sad? I've mentioned this about Roosh. Like, if people had just let men do their thing and you promoted based on meritocracy, we didn't have to have a ton of progressive credentialism requirements. Like, Roosh probably would have become a world famous biologist that would have cured some disease. I would have prevented many financial crises and had many old banks and maybe even the government have their shit together. What else? Different people would have gone off and done other things, but they've made it so difficult. I was like, no, I guess bridges are going to collapse. I guess diseases are going to run rampant. I guess we're going to have to bail out the banks again. Welcome to democracy. Where we inevitably vote to have the settings put on the lowest level possible, and then we bitch and whine because things are getting done. Run Forest 11, 10 Bulgarian thingies. So if a woman wants to marry me, she needs me to earn more than her. But when we go to the corporate office, she complains about it to HR and management. Yep. Whole math has a perfect circle. It's a self-feeding circle where women want equality. So then they get equality. But then they want a man who makes more than them. So then they got to go find a guy who makes more than them. Then they complain, oh, this guy makes more than me. And then they go demand, or it's a funny little circular self-feeding thing. I don't care. I don't care. It's the same thing with, okay, look, so you got white guys facing employment. All you guys face Western women here, right? It's just not our generation. It's not our time. The marriage is not an option. And now you have to go find something else to do. Like, whatever it is that you want, your career, work out at the gym, anything and everything. It's not a reason to give up. It's just like, oh, you're not going to make that worth my time? Oh, fuck it. I'm not going to do it then. I'd be curious to look at the, I did do some research for A World Without Men about how many men are going on collecting mental disability checks that aren't old or physically impaired, like a mental disability check. And it's gone up threefold in 10 years or something like that, while women have remained steady. I'm wondering how much of that is white guys. Soy boy, suburbanite, I have social, like, I don't see a lot of Latinos saying, I have social anxiety disorder, or whatever that is in Spanish. But man, you sure see that in the white community, to be perfectly honest. So, I mean, maybe that's where they're, but yeah, you're not going to find a guy who's bitching and whining about made up mental illnesses he just doesn't have that makes 160,000. Sam Whiskey, $10. Is Cappy's favorite girl Itchy Boots the real deal? Itchy Boots? Is that a girl? Itchy Boots. Itchy Boots. Itchy Boots. It's a woman. She got a YouTube channel. Oh, Oh, yeah. Look at her. Motorcycle rider? Sure. Oh, she's way more hardcore than me. Look at that. Yeah, she's got a hybrid off-road. Different more. Yeah, she's. Yep. Mm-hmm. Take a look at the face. Oh, yeah. Had I known this woman existed, I would have never settled for my current girl. I'm trying to assess. She looks authentic. It doesn't look like does she have what I'm trying to figure out is she fixing her own bike, or is there a guy always there patching her up? I think she looks like the real deal. See, the irony is I don't want to watch her channel because she rides more than I do. Like, oh, I wish I could ride it because I saw a picture. It looks like she was in Africa and going off road. I've not done those off road things. I haven't. I'm still on the pavement. Yeah, but Itchy Boots, I think she is the real deal so far. It looks like it. I want to know how she could finance trips like that, like early on. Like, was she an engineer? Was she a motorcycle mechanic? And no, I'm doing it. Or did she marry rich or have a rich dad? And she just happened to get a cool hobby. Because going across the world is not cheap. I looked at the the Trans-Siberian Road, and you got to have the right type of bike. I looked at Tierra del Fuego. You got to have the right type of bike. You got to be able to repair it and all that. So I'm like, okay, is it just her going out by herself, or does she have like a team behind her? There was an investor who's an older man now, and he's done the same thing, but he had the money to do it, and I don't think he had a team of people following him around. Sam Whiskey. Oh, no, I already did that one. 5 Canadian bucks. Do you think an economic collapse recession would equalize the playing field once again between the sexes once all the BS jobs get laid off? An absolute collapse, not a recession. Recession that just kicks in the welfare state more. You need the government, not necessarily all the government to go away. You need law enforcement to go away. You need there to be no military and no police. And once there is no law, we will go back to the law of nature. And then men are going to become really important again. I'd imagine, like, there's no cops. Like, you're in whatever, downfall, not downfall. Post-apocalyptic, like there's no one's coming to save you. I think there's a lot of gals that are going to be delusional, and they're going to mouth off at their degree, and they will not see the next day, certainly not the next week, because there'll be such a risk to everybody. And it will be, when there's no food, we don't want to hear your shit about, feminist queer theory, okay? Go get the water, boil it, and tend to that guy's wounds over there. And if you don't, you know what? That's 3 meals a day someone else can eat, because you won't see tomorrow. I don't know where you'll be, but you won't be seeing tomorrow. Here anyway. I don't know where she went. I have no idea. But that's one less mouth to feed. All right, there you guys go. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. We'll see you guys later, Toodles.